everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Lewa Show. I am your host, Lewa KANAH, and today I have these beautiful ladies here with me. How are you all?
Good,
Thank
you.
You all look beautiful today.
Thank you.
You can't be this nervous. Seriously?
That's cut, right?
I normally see you guys yap, and now you're just like so quiet. Anyway, it's so wonderful to have you here with me on the show. I invited you guys today to talk about empowerment, particularly empowerment because I've seen each of you, your work in the community here in Papua New Guinea, which also extends to the Pacific region. So I wanted to touch more on that. Maybe we'll start with introductions so we can be a little less tense. We'll get you ladies to introduce yourselves today. Did you want to start, Naomi?
Thanks for inviting me to this program. I really appreciate coming along. Thank you.
I'm Molly O'Rourke. I'm chairperson for Miss Pacific Islands Pageant, and I am so honored and privileged to be here on the Lewa Show.
Thank you.
Hi Lewa, I'm Lily Ho. I'm from Trans Beauty International. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you. Okay, I feel like we're warmed up now.
Yes.
We'll be all right
Yeah.
as we go on. Please have some more of your coffee if you like. So as I said earlier, we wanted to discuss empowerment, particularly what you're doing in terms of empowering others. So maybe we'll start with you, Naomi, in your background as a HR advisor.
Yeah.
What is it that you do?
Okay, HR is a human relationship between employers and employee. So I come in between to make sure that I have the interest of employees and also interest of the employers. That's basically, in a nutshell, for me anyway, that's what human resources is all about. And then the resources part comes with capacity or anything that's required to build a relationship.
So you're the bridge, the gap between the employer and the employee.
Yes.
Similar to you, Lily, I think with trends, is that right?
I would call ourselves the behind the scene people. There's a few of us there. I'm just one of the quieter ones. The main ones would be our senior, being in the beauty industry and the spa industry. We do have different sectors of the business. Most of the trainers are different. There are different nationalities in there too. We have the overseas people that are from Indonesia, from Thailand, and also a lot of senior local staffs.
So the same, empowering,
Yeah.
the bridging gap, yes, for your staff.
To train,
Yes, to train others.
to train others. It's a life skills. Yeah,
Yes.
these are yep.
So I guess just adding to what Lily is saying, it's actually identifying talent and gifts in a person.
Right.
So once you find it out, then you're able to empower them. Until then, you won't know.
Well, that brings me to my next point with you, Molly, and I'm a little awkward now, so could I go back to calling you Auntie Molly? Is that okay, everybody? We're going to go back to Auntie Molly. Identifying talent, like Naomi has said and Lily has said, and then helping them to grow that. That's something that you're very good at.
So to empower other people, you have to have the passion to be able to empower them. And passion comes with mentoring. So when you see someone that needs a little bit of push, you need to be able to approach them in a way where you can draw them to you, and that's when you take them under your wing and you start to groom them. What we do in Miss Pacific Islands Pageant is very similar to that, although we do a pageant where there is a criteria,
Right.
you know, that the girls must fit into this, but beside having the criteria, we do a lot of work outside of it. The informal part of it is we do it in homes, or we take them down and have a coffee, you know, just so that we can have a one-on-one and get to know them a little bit better. And that way they tend to open up and tell us things that, you know, that they can't tell anyone, because they then have a trust in us and then able to expose themselves. And that's when you just take them knowing that you got to groom this person. And we've seen the end results of a lot of them that have come to the platform.
With creating that trust for an individual, I guess in an organizational setting, maybe the same for you, Lily. Is that hard?
I think in a corporate world, which is where I am, I've worked for bigger organizations, Brian Bell group of companies I had worked. I also worked with WR Carpenters, and now I'm with the Central Bank of Papua New Guinea. So it's a switch, it's very wide. And the good thing about human resources, I think all of us in different ways are dealing with humans.
Yes.
They're not animals or they're not products. They are humans. So all humans have different sets of, makeup. You're different, I'm different, Molly's different, and Lily's different. And it's how we bring up, you cannot bring someone and sort of groom them if you yourself have not been there. Right. So you need to have a certain degree of experience, skills, to be able to do your job. Yes. And I think I shouldn't be calling it job. Be able
passion,
to
like Auntie Molly said.
Exactly, that's a better word.
Passion.
To be able to display your passion to someone else, and that someone else has to be able to receive you, to be able to be comfortable with you and trust you. Therefore, you can be able to display your passion.
Right. Displaying passion in terms of training, that's something that Trends takes very seriously. You, as Lily, you've said in the background, with people from different backgrounds, you're not only dealing with nationals, you've got expatriates in your firm. How do you then balance that across? Because that's different cultures now.
It's a lot to do with also adult learning. Understanding that the level of understanding of different people and knowing not just dealing with locals, but the understanding that we are dealing with different cultures of Papua New Guinea as well.
And the language barriers too.
Yes, the language barriers and the understanding of identifying that it's not about people, but it's about just human relationships, and knowing that because we're in the beauty industry, we have to learn a lot, since it's about body language. It's not just about the superficial front, and also identifying what's good within, like that day I've mentioned. And that's the important part, because that's the core of us, that's who we are. So if we know, and as the young people that we are trying to groom them, to look after the beauty of Papua New Guinea, looking after women, looking after men of Papua New Guinea, since we are in that white area that we looked after. It's not just a one gender thing right now, because it's everywhere. Everyone needs grooming in their life, and regardless of what level, what background we are in, as long as we come out in the public, we have to look right.
Presentable.
Yeah, presentable.
So you're all part of that, creating relationships and therefore being able to empower them. Because how can you empower them if they don't trust you, right?
Right.
All right, we'll take a coffee break now.
Thank you.
You are watching The Lewa Show. We will be right back. Hello, you're watching The Lewa Show, and I have these beautiful ladies with us. Today we are discussing empowerment of others. So thank you, ladies. Now my next question. We all have a why. You don't just wake up in the morning and do something. I say this to almost everyone that comes on the show. So what prompted you to go on this journey of empowerment? I think we'll start with you, Auntie Molly.
Thank you, Lewa. As I said before, it's a passion. and I know I had a career path, but after my last paid job, I told myself that I wanted to do charity work. And charity, as we all know, begins from home. So, you know, you tend to nurture all your nieces and nephews and extended families, and that leads you out to, you know, having other people, inviting them into your homes and into your lives. So when I was involved with the pageant, it really, that was the need. You know, I needed to do this. And having to look at all these young women, although like Lily said, they come to you looking so beautiful, there's something inside them that is raw, that it needs to come out. So when I saw that, and when I started to realize that it wasn't just beauty that brought them to the platform, it really, you know, it drove me more to, you know, and that's how I just connected, and I ran wild with it. You know, my home then became their home, my car was their car, you know, my phone was like 24/7 on the go, wherever they were, if they were stuck or doing whatever, I felt that it was my responsibility to go and find them and bring them, you know, and that's where I am today. You know, it's my passion, and when I see them, they come, you know, most of them are broken, they cry, I cry, you know, and then I just have this thing that, you know, I need to encourage them that, you know, like, you need to step out, you can't go to the, you know, you can't do this, but you can only give so much advice. At the end of the day, it's the individuals as to how they want to move from where you've stopped or where you've started. It's up to them to take it, but to me, it has never stopped. I mean, I still follow them. You know, I've like Nicole is one of them. I can tell you a classic of how I met Lewa KANAH. I was very sick. I was diagnosed of.
Oh, she's going into the story.
Yeah, I was very sick, and I went to the doctor's surgery, and I was told that my white blood cells were really low, and I was lying down, and I looked and saw this beautiful individual that was coming and going, parading in front of me, and I was like, I told my husband, I need to go and ask this girl if she wants to, you know, I'm doing the pageant. And he goes, are you crazy? You were sick.
That's passion.
Yes,
you were
that was
sick,
my passion.
and she was still doing work.
What she loved.
So what I saw drove me to her, and, you know, and now I'm sitting in Lewa Show.
The rest is history. So the same with you, passion now. People say, you know, people work for money. Okay, you're a volunteer in charity. So the payment or the satisfaction you get out of it is obviously more. Otherwise, why would you do it? The same with you now. You've passed the HR managing stage. You've gone beyond being a HR manager. You're an advisor, and your advice would go beyond the four walls. Do you agree with Auntie Molly?
Yeah, I agree with what Molly is saying. Although Molly is probably more upfront than I am. I think I started off trying to identify where I was good at, because being a manager, you're just managing everything. Whereas I thought I'm an introvert, where it's best for me to help people quietly behind the scenes. And so if I was sitting here and interviewing you, I'd be more comfortable doing that. And you take the lead, I'll be observing. Okay. That's my, like, I have energy in doing something like that, because then I can spot your body language, how you speak to me, what kind of experience you have, your cultural background, whether you can sing, whether you can dance. Those are all the things I do behind the scene. Yes. I cannot do it if I'm up front. So that's what led me to become
So that's your why?
That's my why.
Is it because you had a skill and you noticed that you did have that skill? Because not many people can connect with people.
Yes. Thank you. That's I think that's where I get the drive from, and to be able to see. I think today someone came and dropped my water and told me, "Are you Mrs. Kerea?" And I said, "Yes." And I was asking her, "Where do you know me from?" And she said, "Oh, from your court days. You were my HR manager." So looking at someone like that, who's now displaying a different type of. She worked for me. I don't know whether it was sales or something. Sorry, I can't remember everybody's face.
Of course, yeah.
But for someone to come out of nowhere and say, "I used to work with you. Are you Mrs. Kerea?" And that's what makes me happy. So I've actually spotted someone, invested, So at this point in time, so going back to your question, I'm no longer a manager, I'm an advisor. So I give advice to managers, people who are senior, who want to know in terms of legal work to do with HR. Then they come to me and I give advice, options of how to best make a decision.
So that is your why.
Yes.
That's really powerful. I like
That's
that.
a bit long, but thank you.
No, but thank you. That's what we're here to do, right? Talk. What about you, Lily? What is your why? What makes you tick in empowering others?
For the love of Papua New Guinea. I get emotional.
Yeah, I got tears welling up.
You know, it doesn't take anyone to just wake up and decide that they're going to do
Yeah.
this. You know, sometimes they say you have a calling on your life.
Yeah.
And I think it comes
That's where
to
Lily
Lily.
is.
Lily comes in, I come in, we all come in because we have this, you know, it has to come from somewhere. It has to be a supernatural connection to you that you're able to feel for others, you know. Like not everyone will wake up in the morning and decide they're going to run around and go and do all of this. No. Unless it's in the core of you, it stays there. So you know when you see a need, you've got to attend to it. You know, you see, you know, my house is like open all hours. And for that kind of thing, you know, you also allow other people to, you know, come on board and do what you encourage them, because if 4 of us can do it, we're not going to save the whole nation.
But you will save one
Yes,
person.
yes.
Yeah.
But if we can save one, that other person,
Yes.
that one will go and
Exactly.
save another 3. Another 3 will go and save another 5.
Yeah.
And that way, it's more, you know, you've got a...
It's empowering.
Empowerment,
It's a ripple
influence.
effect.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
influencing. You're imparting something that is close to you. You impart it onto someone and that someone takes it. And that's the end result. You know, to me, the success of the whole thing that I do is like I see the success in others,
Yeah.
because their success is also my success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel, Lily? I know you got emotional. Actually, we all got.
Yeah.
My mascara's running, but we'll just ignore it.
You question yourself when you've lived here for like almost 30 years, 27 years, like growing up here, and you see this desperation where, I mean, related to what we do, being in a beauty industry. So when I was younger, knowing my partner is Joe Lai, yeah, he started being in Leh for 10 years and then coming to Port Moresby. And I see, no, I got to learn it properly. So I went to London for a year. I did hairdressing for a year. Then I came back and said, no, I'm going to teach the women of Papua New Guinea how to, in terms of technical way. So I did a journey, but it's always behind, because I'm not really a front person trying to do hair. You'll never see me in front
You're like
doing
your
hair.
advisor.
I will just hello and all that. Then as we go along, and there's many issues, and it's not, I don't call it issues, I call it how do we fix it. Yeah, because we get to this thing of being very negative that, nah, you know, it's not going to work here, it's not going to, you know, you can't have that giving up Papua New Guinea, you know, like women are strong here, you know. We are, I mean, forget my hair, forget my skin color, but you know, Papua New Guinea, yes, Papua New Guinea women are strong, you know. We are okay here. It's just how do we go about helping, not just having a job, but being strong internally to actually grow up a family, look after what's around us as a society, caring for one another. That's important. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We should have a little tissue break. I think we're all getting emotional here. You are watching the Lewa Show. We will be back shortly.
Thank you.
hello. You're back on the Lewa Show, and we've been discussing some very deep and meaningful conversations about empowerment, ladies. And I just said before that, you know, a lot of young people might not value it, right? But there are a lot of us that do value it. So I really appreciate you being authentic and real today. So my next question, should we start with you? I feel like you're like my go-to. What has been your greatest challenge in this journey of empowerment?
I think probably honestly the age factor. People don't really value, maybe they do and they don't. There's two sides of looking at it. One is people appreciate the wisdom and the knowledge that you give because of it's yours. It's your blueprint. Yes. Nobody will take you away from you. Whereas the younger people, sorry, not like how you say. I'm very appreciative of younger people looking at the older and should I say wiser people mature, like us. Maturity, wiser, yes. And that's because like you need to give. We need to give. So who are we going to give to? We've got all this knowledge, all these skills, all this experience. We need to give. And in order to give, for me, at least at the what people call a retirement age. So for me, age, I'm past 60. I won't say how old.
Wow, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
And we should cheers to that.
Good genes.
Cheers. Yeah, good genes and looking absolutely wonderful. You look really young.
Well, I'm not going to hide it. I'm a grandmother, but still, coming back to age, I was asked, what do you think the retirement age has changed to 60? And for me, 60 is just a number. 4 things you look at in a person. So you look at their creditability. For me in HR is very, very important.
Credibility.
So you have to be fit and proper in the community.
Right.
You have to be medically fit.
Medically fit.
You have to perform.
Yes.
In HR and in an organization, you must perform. And fourth and final, you must add value. Add value
what
where
you
it's
bring to
needed.
the table.
Yes, what you bring to the table. I'm sitting here, I'm also dressed in green because it's a color that's back for my village development association with Auntie Molly and I are helping.
Well, she's in green too. I just
exactly. and it's now time to give back to everyone, not just my organization. I am more than, and the organization, in an organization, I've probably gone a little bit but there are things that you need to do well and beyond your job description, so to speak, because I'm a HR person. We have to meet our job descriptions to be able to whatever. But for me, it's what I can give back. And as I said, 4 things I believe that age is not important.
Right. So one of the challenges, if I sum up what you just said, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that people, or the young people in general, the generations after now, may not value what you have to say because of your age matched to the times.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
We're on the same page
Yes.
now. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Auntie Molly, what's been your greatest challenge so far in this empowerment journey of women through education?
Well, you know, they say women are your worst enemies. So the greatest challenge that I have in this journey is having to deal with women from different walks of life.
Right.
Because as women, we have one goal, and that is to rise up together, move together, in order for us to achieve the goal.
But we're the first to shoot each other down as
That's
well,
right.
right?
But
in any place.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in most cases, you know, you have to deal with women issues because it's very hard to receive a compliment and always being criticized for what you're doing. So that's my biggest challenge. But I have this thing in me that I've got to rise above all of that. And I think that's why, you know, the organization that I represent is successful, because I rise above all the negativity, because I choose not to focus on the negativity, because I believe in positivity. As Lily said, you know, we're here to support and empower young women and change the perspective of what the world can see us as women of Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
changing. We're
changing.
growing.
We're changing. So if you're talking about change, it's got to start with you
Yeah.
before you can change other people, because the others are not going to change if you don't change. So that's my message every year in, year out is, stay positive and, come out of your comfort zones, combat the issues, not run away and hide from the issue.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, we will be stagnant. We're just gonna stay where we are. So my challenge is that everything else I enjoy doing, except for that, because women cannot. I mean, you walk past them at the coffee shop, they know what you're doing. They're not gonna come and say, "Well done, what you're doing." Thank you, so nice. No, it's the men that come and tell you that.
Yes.
It's the little people on the side of the road that is selling something will commend you for what you're doing. So those are the challenges.
I agree with you, and I know it'll create discussion, but even in our generation, we have that.
Yes.
Where if someone succeeds, it's almost a bad thing to even lift them up higher. I wasn't brought up that way, so I guess if, for example, with Lewa, having mentored her along the way, when she's succeeding at 18, 19, she's achieving things that I could never have done as an 18, 19-year-old. What am I going to do? Take pity upon myself and then criticize her? No. I'm going to lift her up and encourage her. And I think that's where you're saying it. It's just not everyone is going to think that way.
That's right.
Yeah, and it is a great challenge because
Yes, and the
women
fact
are so important in our society.
Oh yes, and then the fact is, like, some of us, we never had the opportunities that the younger people have now, but we can invest in them. And as you said, with Lewa, I've seen this young girl grow from strength to strength. Every month, every day. So that really inspires me. That's the inspiration I get, and I look forward to it. Like, I was supposed to have retired a long time ago, but I feel
What is retirement?
Yes, I know.
What
but
is retirement?
I
Exactly.
feel that if I don't do this, then this thing's going to die. I have young women there, but you need
Can't
to
let
be
it go.
there
Yeah.
to be able to hold their hands and move. We need to move forward.
Pull them along.
Because
too.
in everything that we do, there's always a hindrance.
Correct. Is that the same with you, Lily? Do you face
In the
same?
workplace.
Is that a challenge for you, or it's a different thing?
Relating, back to the beauty industry, the challenges that we feel our local women, our local staffs are like, they need to believe that they are the future, although we are in the skill industry, that the Papua New Guinean women, they can also believe that, there's opportunities, not just that I need to have a diploma, I need to have a university degree. They can use this skill to be able to go back to their provinces and have a small business. It's not just about working for trends. I don't believe in that. It's too much of a, it's not what it is about. It's about having a skill, go back home, have a small business, you can support your family, you can grow your family by, providing food for the table and also schooling.
Yes.
And bringing up good, you can actually, there's more, it's not just about skills, it's just about believing in wanting to contribute to the society in that way.
That's education as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're empowering them through a skill. That's educating them in a skill.
Isn't that what they tell them?
Yes.
Like, you need to believe in yourself to be able to achieve what you want. So that's what Lily's saying. In her workplace, I guess, is they tend to, because they have
They
a lot
have
of
self-doubt?
Yes,
Is that
they
it?
have.
It's
they're
like, it's
insecure,
short-lived.
insecurity too.
Yeah.
Because they have other international workers there.
Yeah.
They think that these international employees are here to take over their job. But they should learn from each other. You know what I mean?
They are actually, the overseas staff, we always tell that we are not here for long. We're just here on a contract. Please, as much as possible, if you could learn from us, we're here to contribute. They're very sharing. Most of them, actually, all of them are very sharing. Yeah, it's just believing in wanting to do good, and it's a domino effect. I feel like if you feel I just recently told the staff, just love. When you have love, not in a, in a proper way, love for one
Love for
another,
Yes.
Love for
then
people.
you become selfless.
Yes.
When you
Yes.
become selfless, you're able to contribute in any ways.
Anyway,
Very true.
Yeah, you
Very true.
smile and you go back, you look after your family, you bring food for the family, and I think,
you're happy.
yeah, you're happy.
Thank you, Lily.
Simple little
thanks.
love.
Okay, hold that thought on the love, love for what we do.
Love.
There's love in different forms. We will be right back. You are watching The Lewa Show. Hello, welcome back to The Lewa Show. We are finishing up for today, but I would like to ask you a very important question. And I'll start with you, Auntie Molly. Put you on the spot. What is the legacy that you would all like to leave behind when you, we won't call it retire, we'll say when you want to hand over the baton to someone else?
When you call the shots.
Yeah.
Time out. Right. For me, the legacy that I would like to leave behind is to see as many young women come through the platform of Miss Pacific Islands pageant and go on to achieving their goals. I'd also like to see, because I believe that the platform that we represent nurtures and grooms young Papua New Guinean women to become leaders, not in their own communities and not just in Papua New Guinea, but in the Pacific region as well as across the globe. So that would be the legacy that I would like to leave behind, is whoever that takes over from this role must have a heart, must have compassion in their heart, because the role is what they call charity. There's no pay. So you got to do the job from your heart. So if you have a heart, then you will be in it. You would love to do it. Nothing will stop you from doing it. So that would be my legacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Molly.
Lily? Legacy that I would like to leave behind is to encourage more Papua New Guinean women to take this life skill, which is a trade that they can go anywhere in the whole of Papua New Guinea, under your house, on top of your house, anywhere.
By the side of your
Rental free.
house, you're rental.
Yeah, beach, and make this a career that they can do forever. There's no age limit. There's no high education.
Move into that now.
Yeah, that profession is good.
Yeah, true.
No age limit.
Yeah, not much of an education level. So don't restrict yourself and limit yourself, knowing that, if I don't have that level of education, I cannot support my family. I cannot put food on the table. But this beauty skill, you can go anywhere you want, actually.
Right, anywhere in the world even,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
that's
as
a
long
skill.
as,
People like me will always use it. I mean, my hair needs a bit of fixing.
So I really hope, I know we have issues in Papua New Guinea and it seems to be very negative, but I want to say, please, men of Papua New Guinea, please support the women in your family. They're out to also put food on the table. Don't be too harsh. Just have lots of love and compassion. For street line also, please keep it safe for Papua New Guinea. Not just for women, but for children, for everyone else.
For our whole
Yeah.
future, basically.
Yes.
That's a beautiful
Look out in
legacy.
PNG.
Finishing up with you now.
I guess age, I shouldn't be talking about age, but it keeps on coming up. But with wisdom and knowledge of actually legacy, I feel I'm not, and here I'm not just patting my self-pity or what, but in my case, I have almost done that because I have 4 years prepared someone to take over my role as a HR manager. So right now, I'm also going out into the community as well because, you know, it's better to have a wholesome approach, right? I've been a mother, I'm now a grandmother, I've been there and done this. So for me, sitting here with young ones like you, Nicole, and these young people displaying this, I'm very proud. It gives me happiness. I think you need to find happiness and peace in you. If you're talking about legacy, you have to be prepared. One thing I did say when I was in Malaysia, and we were asked, if you died, what would your children say about you? So not to like convince my children to say this about me, but I said, I know in my heart, my son will get up and say, Mom, because of you, I'm here. And my daughter, she would say, thank you for not giving up on me. Wow. So to me, you know, I don't think you should go to birthdays and sit and listen to your, I think in another nutshell, that's a good one. And not to wait until your eulogy and then you find everybody comes and they're so sad that, you know, they stay at house cries and everything. They say it now. For me, if I'm 60, I want my children to say, thank you, Mom. We're doing this for you because you've done that. And like the young lady that came and said, I knew you from courts. Right. That's a long time. I think it's 15 years ago I left courts. But to see someone come and say, to me, those are legacies. I don't have to go thinking about it. I think it's already done. And thank you for bringing me to the show.
That is a powerful way to end today, isn't it, ladies? Thank you, Lily, Auntie Molly, and Naomi, for your time today. That's been another edition of the Lewa Show. I'd like to do a shout out to our host venue today, Gateway Hotel, part of the Coral Sea Hotels, home of the Miss Pacific Islands pageant Papua New Guinea 2019. And thank you to you wonderful ladies for being here on the show.
Thank you.
And we will see you all next time.
Thank you.